Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Balatro. This time we're playing the Abandoned deck, and the idea is to try to get Ride the Bus to get us a victory. And I'm doing it on Purple Stake because, well, that's the highest stake I have, and I figured might as well get something that's worthwhile. So the aim is to get Ride the Bus and maybe like superposition or something like that so that I can play a straight, use a scholar, not scholar, but use superposition to play a straight and get value out of it that way. We'll see how it ends out. I mean, it's already starting off somewhat grim. One thing I do like about Abandoned deck is how small the whole deck is. It's only 40 cards. Doesn't require a whole lot of deck fixing. And there's Ride the Bus. So we're doing Ride the Bus. That's a guarantee. I have never had that pop up like that when it's like on demand. Never. I'm utterly flabbergasted. So what I need now, wait, I should probably play the 9, it's worth more. I should get Runner. The Runner Joker. Because if I'm going to play... Ooh, full house. If I'm going to play straights, Runner will be great. Splash. Blue Joker's not very good. Going into the boss blind. So unfortunately I don't want to do Arcana yet, do I? Blue Seal? Nope, no Blue Seal. Pull the card. I just don't play it. So I'll run it, but I won't play it. That way I can get value out of it. Generate money with it in my hand. Matter of fact, I'll discard down for it. And did not get it. Oh well. I mean, we're up to 4 malt. 4 flat malt's not bad. Possible. That's a possible. Ooh. You know what? We're gonna do it. I'm gonna skip one for the negative Joker. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. The problem is I need another malt card. So what I'm doing is I'm running out of I'm gonna run out. Yeah. See, it's already starting to kind of drag on and not give me enough malt. So I need something else. I need another flat malt card or a chip joker, something big. That's not big. It's not a bad card. Well. Actually, wait. Let's see what we got in here first. Random rare joker. Kind of want the gold seal instead. Buy and use that. And if I can get judgment, that'd be great. Wheel. Hermit wouldn't give me all that much. We'll go with wheel. Alright. That solved the malt problem. For now. Oh. And 9876. Swashbuckler wouldn't be bad either, because I got negative egg. Eternal 8-ball. I like the hand size, but that can wait. Might skip the next ante, though. Which means I'll have to buy the voucher after this one. So I can't play the queen. Wait a minute. What if I go for the hearts? Alright. Throw that in there for posterity. Okay. We've got some economy. That wouldn't be bad. Get some malt that way. Yeah, we'll grab that for now. Absolutely not on the Periodolia. 6 cents gives you Spectral. Raised Fist is terrible. I could run half Joker for now. Run 6 cents, I guess. So the first hand has to be a 6. A singular 6. Ew. Getting that out of there automatically. That may not have been ideal, though. Nope. I'm gonna try that again. Outside of Ride the Bus, like, I hope I get Ride the Bus again, but... I want Ride the Bus to be good, and I made mention of it the other day. It was to my nephew. Because... my nephew was playing some Balatro, and he was sitting there looking at, Ride the Bus, and he's like, well, yeah, I could play Ride the Bus. I said, well, you could, but I said, if you play a face card, it nullifies the event. This one's already cooked. Unless I get it straight on the last one. There it is. That's okay, I didn't get any money off the first stake anyway. Oh. Splash, huh? They're both terrible. We'll go with Bull. Maybe we can get some economy going. Maybe. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it'll work though. We'll see. I know I should have played the aces, but I don't think it matters. It was gonna clear the blind anyway, so we're good on that one. So red card. Only works if I'm skipping a lot. Right now I'm getting extra chips. I kind of have to go for the extra chips. I don't like that play. I really don't. That one's better, but not by much. I really could use runner. And ride the bus. Runner and ride the bus would go really well together. Especially in this, because you can get a lot of straights. Ideally, I would do like runner, ride the bus, four finger, and shortcut. Ooh, levels 2 pair by 3 levels. That's not bad. Gives me an option to play outside of playing a straight. I'll leave those in hand. Play the 2 as well. I mean, I could also get Wii Joker. Really don't want to go with the 2 pair build. I was hoping for something else. Diamonds well scored. Right now I'm getting 40 chips, but I do this, I'm going to earn money back if I play diamonds. Yeah, it's eternal, but we're going to see if we can... And of course, diamonds are debuffed. Yep. That's to be expected. Actually, wait, you know what? 2 pair. I'll let it debuff, it's fine. Yeah, see, full house is worth less than a 2 pair right now. Really, game? Really? 5 chips off? At least now I can start making money with Diamond. Back up to the previous chips. Sock and Buskin doesn't help. That doesn't help yet either. That will, but not right now. Next round. Start playing a whole bunch of diamonds. What do I get here? Another 2 pair. Level 8 2 pair, I'll take it. I'll play that flush. Oof, I need a Molt Joker, and fast. I don't want to do that. That would be very bad. I'm gonna lose here anyway because the Molt and everything is halved. Yeah, I don't have anywhere near enough hands. I tried. We gave it one more go. And by giving it another go, I mean I'm not going to call the video after this. I'm going to actively try to do the ride the bus of the abandoned deck. I might just switch up the deck, the stake. Ideally, I would like to do it on this stake. I really would. I just need the... quite literally the best possible run. I don't know what that possible... Ooh. Infinite power. Alright, you know. I'll keep the clown for now. One and 4, and an 8-ball didn't get it. Shocker. Bloodstone is okay. Get a reroll. Sell that Joker. quite literally. Immediate sell there. So, you've no doubt heard about the whole payment processor debacle with Visa, right? I'm sure you have. Now, here's the thing that gets me about this whole spiel, right? You have a payment processing system that decides the best idea would be to go out there and try to impose moral guidelines where they're not necessary. Now, do I agree that there needs to be some sort of morality guidelines implemented in certain ways? To a degree, yes. Because there is physical media out there that is dangerous to consumers, obviously. There's digital media out there that causes problems. 100%, I'm not going to say there's not. But shouldn't that digital media be relegated to other things? Like, they had the ESRB, which, far be it from me, was a massive overstep on the government. Like, the ESRB, I will unequivocally say, I've never liked the ESRB at all. Not one bit. And then they go and they put something like this in, right? Where you have, for lack of a better term, government overreach. And it is. It truthfully is government overreach. Not government overreach. It's before the ESRB was government overreach, because you had a whole slew of people that were like, why on earth are you why on earth are you imposing this upon people, right? The ESRB. Why do we need an electronic service and rating board? They didn't think, oh, well, I know, that's probably a bad idea. But it was... I probably should have put the 7 of spades first. I didn't even think about it. Anyhow, the ESRB, the Electronic Service Rating Board, or Rating Service Board, or Service and Ratings Board, was spearheaded by Joe Lieberman and a few other congressmen. The problem with that is that they, much akin to any other government official, they didn't know what they were talking about or doing. So, eternal negative greedy. Hey, there's Ride the Bus. We're gonna get rid of these two jokers. Probably a bad idea, but we're gonna grab the Ride the Bus. And we're gonna grab the voucher. Now, it's free though. And it doesn't take up a joker slot. I'll take it. And there's Runner. And there's a wonderful hand. So, what the ESRB did is they overstepped their bounds, in my estimation. Okay? And I never liked it. Not one bit. But did that stop the ESRB? No. They just decided, oh, we're going to impose our will anyway. And they put the parental rating system on it. Now, I understand that because at the time, parents didn't have a grasp of what these people, of what kids and everything were trying to play. And so, rightfully so, they were worried about kids playing the wrong game, etc. And I can understand something being regulated to that degree by a government board. But then you turn around and you look at it, and now you have somebody that has no vested interest in the actual games itself stepping in and saying, no, you're not going to buy that because we said so. Well, hold on. Well, that's not right at all. Who gives them the say? Who gives them the absolute ultimate say to say, nope, that's not going to happen? Yet they did it anyway. Straight flush. So this is why I had a big problem with the ESRB growing up, right? Because they were putting these ratings on the game, but it was only rated on violent content. Which, okay, fine metric by which to rate it on, with one caveat. And that is, there were kids that were getting things like Banjo-Kazooie, right? Not known for its grotesque violence, obviously. And they were getting games like that, and these games were exceptionally hard for what they were. And then you'd have people saying, oh, well, they can't beat the game because of insert reason. Well, of course they can't, as it wasn't rated on difficulty. And that was my problem. My problem with it is that they never took a look at the game's difficulty rating in addition to its other aspect. They never said, oh, well, this game's too difficult for a child, so let's rate it T for teen. Instead, it was, oh, this game's too violent, let's rate it E for, or this game's not violent at all, let's rate it E for everyone. Okay, I guess. But what have you done there? You've now made it so that you have no clue how hard a game is. We get something right now. And so now it really begs the question, did they really have anybody's interest in mind? Probably not. And what brought it up was the whole Mortal Kombat fiasco. And I should have put the 8 first. And but by the Mortal Kombat fiasco, I mean you had Mortal Kombat being a very popular game at the time. You had parents saying the game's far too violent, which it was. But if you think about it, on the Sega Genesis, right, there was a blood code you had to put in order to actually see the blood and to see the gore. It was relegated behind a wall. Obviously, those in the know knew how to get past the wall. Those that didn't kind of just dealt with it, right? And so it really begged the question, what was the real problem with the game? And I have a sneaking suspicion, I can't prove it, but I have a sneaking suspicion that one of the senators that helped draft the bill was frequenting arcades back in the day. And I think he got absolutely thrown by some of these kids playing the game. And as such, he had a personal vendetta. That's what I believe. I don't know if I'm right or not. Doesn't really matter. Did I play it that way? Play it with the diamonds. the diamonds. I think they had a vendetta, personally. And what it's done now is it's created, obviously, the ESRB, but nobody listens to it anymore, right? Parents have a say, and they have agency in what is purchased and what comes into their house, of course. But then it's like, even with that sense of agency in the house, like, what are the kids even listening? Or are the parents able to pay attention? And the answer to that is probably not. They're busy. So, with the parents being busy, I guess they think that other people seem to think that people need to rise up and help them out. Now, like I said before, I'm not against protecting the youth. 100% they should be protected from things that are dangerous, hostile. 100%. Protect them from that. No problems there. But it's not up to a payment processor, right? It should be up to parents. It should be up to the people in their life making that decision, right? Their parents and everything making that decision. And making that make sense that way. I think the payment processors need to just back off. But I also think, this is my own personal belief, that as a payment, there needs to be an in-between, right? So I don't think that the payment processors should have the ability to just blanket Steam or something and say, nope, you're not allowed to buy or you're not allowed to sell these games because it's hostile towards people, right? No, that's not what needs to happen. What needs to happen is you need to have, probably put the 5 first, maybe get more malt. Like that. What you need to have happen is you need to have Steam and other companies step up to the plate and say, okay, we're going to offer up Steam credits. Or we're going to offer up Steam, call it pounds per square inch because it's Steam pressure, call whatever digital currency you want to call it. The payment processors can then say, here's your digital currency. You're buying X amount of digital currency, but we have no agency over what games you're buying. We just transfer the funds from here to the digital currency. That's all our purview is. I have no issue with that. That's how it should be run. That's how it should end. But that's not how it's going to end. This is going to end in people like Visa and MasterCard really having a kerfuffle. Truthfully. Sell that. Put that here. Nope, keep that there. We'll grab you. Grab you. You. And you. No. Yes. Magician those. Grab the voucher. But these people need to step up and say, look, this is how it's going to be, right? We're going to run this digital currency. You can't have, you as a payment processor, have no say over what that digital currency can be spent on, but they're allowed to purchase what they want with said digital currency. It's not ideal. It's not the ideal situation, because now you have the payment processors. Those will say, "Well, we're just going to get rid of that." Okay, so you get rid of the system. What then? Now you don't really have much of an option, because then they'll just deny everything straight away. And now you're left with a new issue. The only other option that comes up in my head is that this is going to come back and haunt them. The payment processors. It's going to come back from the grave and it's going to absolutely rock their world. And they're not ready for it. There's going to be a massive backlash. And they're not prepared at all. They're just not. They think it's all hunky-dory, and it's... I mean, I really hate to be that guy, but... it's not a rosy outlook for him. You know what? We're gonna half Joker. Why not? I've already got everything else. This is already lowering my hand size. I'm gonna as well transit over to... wish I could do that. Can't. Oh well. Ooh. Get +3 hand size for the goad. That'll help out. There we go. But no, the blowback is coming for these payment processors. And they don't understand what exactly is coming. They really don't. They think it's going to be like people are just going to lay down, and they're not. Is people are fed up. I'll tell you this right now. This is not unique to the video game industry. This is not unique to anything like that. This is just, it's been around for decades, ages, you name it. People are fed up being told what to do and when to do and how far to do it. And you can see it in today's society. People are bucking society like you wouldn't believe. They're bucking the trends. They're just thumbing their nose to everything and saying, I'm just done. And in saying that they're just done and walking away from the majority of things, it's crazy. Yeah, we'll go with Grim. Got rid of an ace to give me 2 aces. Could have chose anything else, but no. Ooh, red seal. Doesn't really help me, though. That could be helpful. I mean, never in my life have I seen that. Have I seen people just basically look at the system that exists out there and say, no more. Had enough. It's just like they're just fed up with everything. I mean, I can't blame them either, right? It's like George Carlin said, you know, these people are going to get to a point where they're no longer going to care about a system that threw them overboard ages ago. And it's true. I mean, if you honestly take a step back, dissect it, and look at it, the system that exists out there has indeed thrown them overboard. They just don't care. As it stopped being about the people. It started being about profits. It started being about lining their own pockets. But I didn't really want to get on this massive diatribe. But at the same time, everybody can see it. I could use a driver's license in here. I'd go nuts. Tell him judgment, driver's license. Oh. Golden Joker, Scholar. Pareidolia, which is absolutely ruin the run. Erosion. Oh, for each card below 40. Never mind. I kind of got happy about that. I could have played the trio, but that wouldn't have worked, I don't think. I think one of the things that I learned growing up when I was a youth was to question everything. And I'm not talking in like the Thomas Jefferson sense, or I think it was Thomas Jefferson that said question everything with boldness, even the existence if there is a God. But there was always something that I did growing up, and I would question every single thing. And it led to me being labeled a conspiracy nut, led to me being labeled a bunch of stuff. But what I would do is I would say, I would ask the very poignant question, who stands to gain? That's the simplest question. You look at anything that exists in the world and you say, who stands to gain? And when you look at it, and you really sit down and look at it, you realize who stands to gain. And it isn't the people. The people are getting tossed aside like yesterday's rubbish, right? That's just a sad fact of reality right now. And it's horribly sad that people are just being tossed aside. That nobody cares. And society is like that. And it's unfortunate that society behaves in such a manner. Barely made it by that one. Banana. I don't have anything to get for the banana. I don't have a single hand over 15. Banana. Oh, I thought that was 2 pair. I just made a grievous error. Ugh. That was bad. Triggers 2 additional times. It gives me 9 mil. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. I've watched, in my many years, I've watched people achieve success and burn it to the ground. I've watched people go out there and do something wonderful and then ruin. And every single time I find myself asking the one question, why? Why did you ruin them? Like, what did you gain by ruining what you had built? And it happens a lot. It happens a lot more than you think. And it usually surrounds people that have achieved fame and fortune. I've told people multiple times, I said, it doesn't matter how big you make it. If you succeed and you become a renowned success, do not let it get to your head. Stay humble and be aware of where you came from. And I say that to everybody out there. Like, if you do something that you're passionate about, and it's a marketable passion, and you decide, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go and make a name for myself and make money and get this level of fame, and you do that, great. But never forget where you came from. Never forget how you started. Because it's almost like a downward spiral. You can watch it happen in real time. There are people out there who have everything at their fingertips. And I mean everything. And they throw it all away by changing who they are. They become arrogant, full of themselves. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Because life is not always going to give you a bed of roses. More often than not, life will take from you the bed of roses you are lying in. I tried. Apparently I can't ride the bus early enough and have it work all the way through. But that's the thing. I mean, while playing Balatro, I talked about a lot of things. The Visa Pay processing, the MasterCard, Visa MasterCard. And there just needs to be an intermediary step in that whole thing. Now, when talking about losing who you are, I encourage anybody out there, if you watch me, if you watch any other creator, and you think to yourself, I want to do that, what's stopping you? Nothing. There's no one holding you down. There's no one stopping you. There's no one preventing you by saying, whoa, you can't do that. I'm saying, on the other hand, I'm saying you can. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Everybody can be successful. You have to find something you enjoy doing and do that. And it has to be marketable. I enjoy making unedited, unfiltered content. I'm not going to edit it and chop it up. I leave it there. And I enjoy giving this type of insight. Not necessarily insight. I enjoy giving an opinion, but I enjoy giving insights about saying, like, for example, staying humble. Never forgetting where you came from. And that's so deeply rooted in my memory. So no matter how high I make it, I could achieve the moon, I could go above the moon and the stars and achieve well above anyone's expectations, including my own. And I could achieve everything. And I'll never forget where I came from. Which was below the poverty line, growing up on a shoestring budget, not knowing, not feeling like I was poor. I'll never forget it. And I'm just as authentic in person as I am here. If anybody out there meets me and sees me and says, hey, hey, how you doing? I might just be like, hi, and not say much else. Because I'm a little bit introverted and I'm out in public. I'm a little bit quieter than here. But I'm still the same. If somebody asks for my opinion, I'm going to give them both barrels of the opinion. Just, there you go. I mean, I had people call it stoicism. I had other people call it a straight shooter. Whatever you want to call it, that's what I do. And not everybody has to agree on opinions. That's the joy of opinions. I can have an opinion, somebody can have a different opinion. Those differing opinions is what makes us all individuals. It's what makes us unique. But here's something to leave you thinking about. How many of those opinions are the product of circumstance? Really think about that. Something occurs in your life, something occurs that you're not 100% sure of, changes your perspective, changes your worldview. changes how you look at things, changes how you act and interact. The opinion you formulate out of that, is it truly an informed opinion? Or is it an opinion as a product of circumstance? And to that degree, how many of our opinions are products of circumstance? Just give you something to think about. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, have a good one.